Today's sermon. This one only moves when you pray. Our scripture focus comes from Mark chapter 9, verse 29. But I'd like for you to go read the whole story in Mark chapter 9, verses 14 through 29. I'll only read a few of those verses here. Verse 17, it says, a man in the crowd answered, Teacher, I brought you my son, who is possessed by a spirit that has robbed him of speech. Verse 21, Jesus asked the boy's father, how long has he been like this? From childhood, he answered. Verse 25, when Jesus saw that the crowd was running to the scene, he rebuked the impure spirit. You deaf and mute spirit, he said, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. And in verse 29, he replied, this kind only comes out by prayer. There's a moment in scripture where a desperate father brings his son to the disciples. The boy is tormented, thrown into fire, into water, life out of control. The disciples try to handle it, but nothing happens. No breakthrough, no change, no victory. Then Jesus steps in. With authority, with power, with presence, he delivers the boy instantly. Later, the disciples pulled him away and asked, what happened? Why can't we fix this? And Jesus responds with something that still hits today. This kind only comes out by prayer. Today, I got 5 topics I'd like to talk about. My first topic is some battles are different. Let's be real. Not everything in life is the same level of struggle. Some problems you can solve with wisdom. Some situations you can fix with effort. Some doors open with connections. But then there's that kind of depression that won't lift, that kind of generational curse that keeps repeating, that kind of addiction that won't break, that kind of spiritual heaviness that follows you everywhere. You tried talking about it, you tried ignoring it, you tried fighting it in your own strength, and it's still there. Jesus said, this kind, which means there are levels to this thing. My second topic, prayer is not a ritual, it's a weapon. We've made prayer soft, casual, optional. But in the kingdom, prayer is not just communication, it's confrontation. When you pray, you're not just talking. You're stepping into the spiritual realm and declaring, God, I need your power here. Heaven, invade this situation. What's been holding me is about to lose its grip. The disciples had authority, but they lacked the connection in that moment because power flows from the presence, and presence is built in prayer. My third topic, some breakthroughs require consistency. Notice Jesus didn't say a prayer. He said prayer, a lifestyle. Some things don't move because we only pray when we're in trouble. But spiritual authority is built in the quiet places, when nobody's watching, when nothing is wrong, when it's just you and God. That's where strength is developed. And when that kind shows up, you're not scrambling. My fourth topic, fasting strengthens what prayer starts. In some translations, Jesus added fasting. Fasting isn't about starving, it's about separating. You're telling your flesh, you're not in charge right now. You're telling your spirit, rise up. Some things won't break because you're feeding everything except your spirit. But when prayer and fasting come together, something shifts. Clarity increases, discernment sharpens, authority rises. My fifth and final topic, you're not powerless, you're unplugged. The issue wasn't that the disciples were weak. It's that they weren't plugged in. You can have a phone with all the latest features, but if the battery is dead, it's useless. And some of us are trying to fight spiritual battles on 2%. Prayer is the charger. Time with God is the source. And until you plug in, you'll keep losing battles you were designed to win. In closing, identify that kind in your life. What is that kind for you? That thing that keeps coming back. That thing that drains your peace. That thing that makes you feel stuck. Jesus already told you the strategy. Not louder effort, not more stress, not more control, but prayer. This isn't about guilt. It's about access. God is not asking you to be perfect. He's inviting you to be connected because the same power that delivered that boy is still available today. And whatever that kind is in your life, it has to respond to a praying person. Until the next sermon, blessings, fam.